has a lot of infrastructure updates under hood that would allow us to more easily migrate to Matic or to any other layer 2 solution that we pick, like basically EVM compatible. And the same as well for any actually scalability of the product, but because we've upgraded to microservice architecture, and now we can do, yeah, I'm sorry, and now we can really scale the team with several teams working on different things that they want to achieve. So that's really great. Taking a lot of time, but we will make that done. We have the soft launch date at the beginning of June for that. So that's pretty soon. And just to show you one little update that I think a lot of people were waiting for, we've got rid of duplicates of items. So before that, that's the filter most liked items we have here. And before there were 1,000 just marks.
Oh, that's amazing. I was looking at that this morning actually, and yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it actually has quite a lot of just changes to the architecture again, because like previously we operated by not the items but ownerships. So an item that is owned by somebody was a card, and now the card is only an item, and all the ownerships are hidden inside. That's why we have this one Mars coin, and we can look over all the owners. There are a lot. That's why it's taking too long to process that. But there are a lot of just item owners, and I guess they are sorted by the price, but not. So on top of there are all the items for sale, and below are just the owners, and there is the highest. The best price is always on top here on the bottom.
Oh, that's great.
And before that, you needed to click to the specific person to actually to go to his ownership to buy from him. That was a little bit weird. So that's we've upgraded this. It has quite a lot of consequences. We are able to enable much more filters now, like this most liked filter. So like other filters would work as well for the items and not for ownerships. Yeah, that messes a little bit with our auction system for 1155 items, because the auctions are tied to ownerships, not items, but we'll get through that. I don't know why I dig too much to the architecture, but since we have a lot of builders here, that might help somebody to navigate their product. So yeah, this is, it actually shows the most popular items on the marketplace. And not surprisingly, there is a lot of Lirona stuff, and Elon, there's Burn Banksy. The guys did great. They actually sold like 100 copies of that, or even more over time.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is like super useful. I was literally just looking at this on the site, so that's amazing.
Yeah, so before that it looked like this. Yeah.
Yeah, it just made no sense.
Well, yeah, and yeah, when I click here, that's how it works now. And there are owners, and I go to owners, and so you see there are like 3 parts of the URL: the creator, the contract, the token ID, and the current owner. And if I click to another owner, it changes me to another owner. Well, some caveats that we've taken off. Yep. I guess we have today We have more and more people coming today. So I don't know, yesterday there was a long conversation about the drop that didn't land into Nick's, our Rarible supporter wallet. I guess we have, um, James White here today as well. And at some point in time, I'd love to discuss, to get back to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, long story short, we're all good, and Nick's back on track and top buyer for today. Uh, and yeah, there is the topic to discuss about all of that. So I'd love to discuss with James and so,
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I also want to, James has been talking to me on and off for some time now, and yeah, he wanted to get more involved in the community, and so yeah, James, what's the role we gave you, James, unofficially?
Creator Relations Ambassador.
Yeah, thanks, James. So James is going to be helping out with creator relations, and it's an area we need a lot of help with. So I really appreciate James stepping in here, and look forward to getting you more involved in what we're doing.
well, I guess
Absolutely.
thank you, James. I guess Nick expressed the desire to be involved as well.
Yeah,
And he isn't able to participate here today, so he asked me to convey his thoughts. He basically wants to run like an operations at some capacity. He has a business background and he wanted to work. He referred a lot of artists to the platform and collectors as well. I love the energy of Nick. Yeah, I know he's kind of
Yeah.
unstoppable person.
Yeah.
So if the community is open to something like that, I guess, I don't know, might be James and Nick can work together on something, working with artists, collectors, just bringing them in. If again, I'm here speaking not as a Rarible team member, but like as a Rarible DAO member. So I just convey what he said to the community. If the community is up to, I guess we can continue this discussion.
yeah, I'd be happy to work with both of them. I mean, I think the more the merrier. We're building an army here, so if Nick has changed, it looked like he was quite upset, but if he's changed his tune, I'm happy, like to work with anyone really, as long as we respect each other and we're on the same page. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's great news, Alex, that you were able to chat with him. All right, so let's just let me share my screen again. All right, so that's some updates from Alex. We have 2 team updates from 2 proposals who have passed in the past. Radical NFT. Roscoe, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. So since the last time we were on the call, I'm guessing we made a bit of a change to the main idea. I think before we focused a bit more on sort of the B2C use case where we would have our own like end users on our own platforms. But since then, I think we kind of went away from that idea, and
maybe if I can
now,
just pause, just to give people a background, because there's a lot of people here who might not know what Harberger NFTs are. So Roscoe, they submitted a proposal which got funded, which allows the creation of Harberger NFTs on the Rarible protocol. And what a Harberger NFT is it's like an NFT that you hold, but in order to hold on to the NFT and keep ownership over it, you have to pay a tax. on an ongoing basis, like every month or every week or whatever it is. So you have to. It's almost like a subscription-based NFT where in order to hold it, you have to pay. So it's a really interesting concept. I think it has a ton of potential for all sorts of use cases. So yeah, that's what Ross was talking about in terms of changing the focus.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, it's probably good to have that background info. Yeah, so in the context of that, so initially we were more focused on allowing maybe like creators to use our protocol to mint their own Harberger NFTs, and in that way, like get a sort of lifelong streaming income over their NFTs rather than having an upfront sale or maybe getting royalties from future sales. You just have like a sort of stable income over the NFTs that you create. So that was kind of our initial idea, but we kind of went away from that to more of a developer focus. So rather than providing that sort of platform to end users, which are the creators, so we want to supply a sort of base layer for Harberger NFTs where other projects are able to leverage that. And so we've had some talks with GeoWeb, for example, which is one use case that have a virtual world, and in such a world you could imagine that, for example, land could be in Harberger NFT, where in order to keep the land you have to pay a tax continuously over it. And other interesting use cases could be like gaming or still also art work. We also had some talks with Mintgate. Theo had those talks, and they so with that collaboration, you could, for example, have a subscription like a club membership where you have to pay a monthly fee to pay a member. And so there's definitely like interesting use cases there, but rather than choosing one of those and implementing them like from scratch, we're planning to, or our vision now is to have like our base layer contracts and probably some like JavaScript SDKs as well, but most importantly to have like the base layer contracts that people can integrate with, where we handle all like the all of the necessary steps for Harberger NFTs. So we make sure that the NFTs, like the owner pays the correct rent, and if they don't, then like the NFT gets repossessed, things like that. So that other systems like GeoWeb, for example, can just integrate with that.
Beautiful.
Small question. For the Harberger NFT, I guess one of the main things for the Harberger NFT to work, it should be like always on sale or something like that.
Exactly. So to get a bit more to explain a bit more about Harberger NFTs. So basically, the idea is that an NFT is always for sale at a price that the owner can decide themselves. So if they say, I want to sell it for $10, or I want to sell it for $1,000, but it has to be always on sale, and then the price they have to pay every month or every second, like their subscription or their tax, is like a percentage of the price that they set themselves. So if they set a very high price, then no one will buy it from them, so they keep it, but they also have to pay a very high tax. But at the same time, if they set a very low price because they want to pay a low tax, then someone else will just come in and buy their asset. So that's the kind of the economic theory behind that. Should kind of create a nice equilibrium, like where the users will set their price high enough
Yeah.
so that it doesn't get sold from under them, but not low
Correct.
enough.
I
So
didn't
like,
want
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to take a long time by asking this question. Yeah, a small question. Have you seen Wildcard's World project?
Yeah. It's, we
Cool. They're doing
talked like
something.
I met the guys behind that in London as well last year. They're nice guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the project.
All right. Next topic, because I'd like to save some room for the end. So thanks a lot, Roscoe. I'm super excited about that functionality. I want to see so many use cases with it. So really looking forward to progress there. So Trust DAO, let's keep it like 5 minutes. Let's try to keep it short. And then Natalie's also going to give an update on Creator Collective and the next steps there. I've been working on that with Natalie, and it's also very exciting. So go for it.
Yeah, sure. And it won't even take 5 minutes. I think what we've done basically is we've reviewed a number of proposals and given detailed feedback on it. There's been a few on the forum, not that many. Been on a couple of calls for the proposals, and then been on some of these calls as well. Yeah, probably we weren't quite as active as we wanted to be, but yeah, so I guess for the next 2-3 weeks, just continue doing that. So kind of put in more of the work that didn't quite arise over the last month, and then just go from there. Yeah. Do you want specific articles? No, I mean.
No, I think that's good. I'm hoping so. Rolf and Trust DAO are really helping out with the proposal process and reviewing proposals. Hopefully, the hope is that we can build a little group who can review proposals and help, filter proposals. Because, as we start scaling the DAO, how are we gonna, I can't handle 10 proposals a week. I mean, it's way too much, right? So we need to kind of decentralize the review process and the analysis process. And, so Rolf is kind of spearheading that, and I think it's going to be a very valuable piece of the puzzle. Natalie, do you want to give an update on what you're working on? Oh, you're muted. Sorry. There you go.
Hi, well, I'm Natalie. I'm with Creator Collective, and Mark is also here with Creator Collective. So Eric kind of asked us to give us a quick overview of our upcoming proposal. It should be up on the community forum here in the next few days. So for those of you who don't know Creator Collective, we're kind of working as being a hub for artists in the Rarible ecosystem, and to help onboard, connect, and engage them via education and engaging community activities and campaigns. So a little backstory on Creator Collective. We just finished our first pilot project, the Earth Day NFT campaign. That was a huge success. Artists from all over the world participated, and we're super stoked, and many of them reached out wanting us to continue to do this. So that's kind of where we came up with this next idea to continue along those lines. And our next campaign is really going to be like an educational content series competition campaign. Our goal for that is to continue to inspire and educate participating artists in the Rarible ecosystem. So our plan is to do 3 different month-long campaigns. Each campaign will pretty much be initiated by a launch of a new video in the series that we will be producing. And just to give you a quick overview of what that kind of is going to look like. Is that cool, Eric? I have time?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I'm trying to speed it up. Okay, so basically the video is going to be made up of 3 components. We're going to feature an artist interview, and that artist is going to share their story of their crypto art journey. And basically that artist is also going to share and feature a tip or technique of their art making process. And part 3 is we're going to kind of explain the competition parameters, which basically is going to incorporate a theme, that tip or technique the artist did. And also they're going to have to mint on Rarible platform, and it's going to be presented by Rarible. And the submissions will be with Google form like we did before. So we feel this kind of approach is kind of cool and useful and effective because it really highlights innovative artists. The people that we're going to bring on are going to be pretty, people that we're really inspired by. And so it's going to be a really cool for emerging and veteran artists because it's going to kind of inspire them to try and create new things with their art making process. So we also think this is kind of help bridge that gap for those newbies and the crypto native and the non-crypto native artists. And I think it's also going to hopefully connect them. I mean, I'm stoked by the list of artists we've already kind of started creating. And the marketing component is a huge part of this. We're going to be promoting all month long for that campaign on Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and in our Substack newsletter. We'll have community calls in our Discord, and we'll also be using the engine of the artists and the featured artists to help promote. So we really feel this is going to bring a lot of artists outside the community and also really engage artists within the community, which pretty much it already did with the Earth Day NFT campaign. That's what happened. So we kind of want to hopefully build upon that. So yeah, we're just super excited for the future of doing this kind of stuff and seeing what happens and what artists create. And yeah, we'd love if you guys have ideas or want to help connect with us, please feel free to reach out to us. And again, our proposal has a lot of more of this detail laid out, and it'll be up soon. But once it's up, we would love your guys' support, ideas, and feedback. So that's it. And Mark, do you have anything else to say, or is that?
No, you got it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I mean, like, in my mind, there's like two main focus areas for the DAO. We have like the creators and creating a really vibrant ecosystem of creators of music and art and, you know, all these things, and incorporating brands in there. And then we also have the apps and like building apps and like the whole ecosystem there. So a really key part of the puzzle. All right, so we're going to get started on the more, at least maybe we can open the floor if anyone has any other topics they want to bring up. Oh, actually, Ethan, you mentioned something to me. You want to mention something about that?
Yeah, so obviously, as you guys know, the support team is pretty backed up at the moment. So what we're planning to do is we're looking for about 5 people from the community to come onto the support team for a month and sort of learn the ropes of the verification system to help us clear out the backlog on the verification system. And then essentially, if we ever have like a really high user spike again, we'd probably come back to you guys. So if anyone is interested in helping out, please reach out to me on Discord.
Great, I'll do that now.
Matt's asking how many hours a day for the 30 days.
Sort of pretty much on your own time. So, you know, if you can work 2-3 hours a day, or you can work 8, it's cool.
I would love to just learn a little bit and help out, because I get asked by many artists this very question, so we kind of cool to understand the process.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask, is just making sure that, you know, if there's
Yeah, I can help out with that as well, Ethan.
Yeah,
Awesome.
commitment of time, right? Like what that time would be a day, because you're going to work to that backlog, 5 people working 8 hours a day. And does that get you to the number you want to be at?
Oh, it would get us past it at
Okay.
this point. Yeah.
Ethan,
So
do you
we
want to
can-
put your contact information in the chat,
Sure.
just so they can reach you?
Yeah, well, we can commit 1 too. So I'll drop you a line, Ethan.
Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen again. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Share screen. Okay, so we have. Oh, all right. Sorry, Louis, you're getting booted. All right. See you, buddy. That was fun. I've never done that before. Just booted him. At least we got to see his ass.
That's awesome.
All right. Pranks on him. All right. So, okay. I don't know who's coming in now. I'm not going to invite these new people coming in, so I'm just going to close it. All right. So, we have a new proposal by DAO House doing their DAO integration. We've been discussing this for a while with Rolf and some others. Please take a look at this one. We're not going to focus on it too much. And then we have the Minty Fresh proposal. They're building an app. This also we were reviewing. Make sure you take a look at it and vote. All right, so now we're going to start the whiteboard session. We haven't done one of these in this call. So here, what I'm going to do, we're going to have to and board link. All right, we're gonna try it out. I haven't done this in this chat, in this group before. So where's my chat? Chat. Oh, I can't find my chat bar. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's the link, and everybody should be able to join this link. So let's just wait till people come. And what we're going to try to do is collectively, some people are new here, some people have been around for a while, but what we're going to try to do is just like brainstorm on what the goals of Rarible DAO should be, like what we want the DAO to achieve, you know, and it can be anything you want. There's no good or bad ideas, unless you do what that other guy just came in and did and spam the board, but please don't spam the board. So yeah, just you know, we can start that. We'll probably give like 5-10 minutes. Just spitball anything you want on like what the goals can be, and then what we'll do is we'll try to break it down and see what the patterns and trends are after a few minutes. So I'm going to add this this timer at the bottom. You guys don't have to look at my screen. I'm just I'm screen recording for YouTube, so you know, you guys should just be looking at your own screens. And then yeah, we'll get started. So go for it. We got 5 minutes. Let's see what we can come up with. Do you guys hear that music, by the way, of the countdown? Oh, that's cool. I've never used it before, so it's kind of fun.
I'm doing this from my phone, so I can't really partake.
Oh, that's too bad. I guess Miro doesn't work on the phone.
This is cool. It's kind of like a little video game, Eric.
Anything you want about like creators, or you know, like what our values are, you know, anything that comes to mind that you'd like to see the ecosystem become. There was some really bad music we could have chosen. It was like elevator music and like really anxiety provoking music, which maybe we'll try next time. All right, we got 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Or if we see it slowing down, we can just stop. But All right, looks like it's slowed down here, so we'll just stop that. All right, so it looks like there's quite a few here. So I'm just gonna remove these whiteboards at the top here. And then so next phase, what I'd love everyone to do, and this is a collective exercise, let's try to group them by, you know, type, like things that are similar, just put them close to each other so that we can visually see like the main patterns and trends. So everybody can jump in here and move them. If you see something a bit similar to something else, it's like that game you used to play when you were a kid where you flipped cards and you tried to remember. Yeah, just try to, but don't move them around too much so that, you know, people don't get lost and they can't find the other cards. But let's just try to group them.
We've got one blank.
All right, well, let's see. Yeah, okay, so we can just go over some of these. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's just read some of these one by one. And then let me see. I'm just going to lock everything. All right, I'm going to lock. So, oh. Are people still able to move? I don't know what that did. Well, I guess maybe it just prevented people. Okay, anyways, so I'm sharing my screen. So let's just go through these. Support known, unknown creators. Community building, a place to go for cool ideas. And I guess this could be, you know, it's pretty broad, could be all sorts of ideas. Fostering project building. Tip of innovation and experiments. Attract NFT innovators. And let's see, we have this big blob here. So education and freedom, future of art, inspiration, inclusivity, bringing the metaverse, self-sovereign media ownership, decentralized, non-hierarchical ethos, hard one to say, culture, build artist community, ownership, giving those who add value. How can be open and accessible to all, supporting artists, enable creativity of all kinds, build microeconomies, human-centered protocols, connect developers and artists, help artists understand collectors and connect them to collectors, identify high need item actions and seek consensus, a protocol for media decentralization, infrastructure for community that gives creatives full control, increasing the price of rarity, incentivize desired behavior, explore deflationary solutions for rarity, increase price of rarity, protocol usage, marketplace volume, number of buyers and sellers. So yeah, I mean, it's really interesting here. Like, I mean, I guess there's like, on the right side, there's like more metrics, like, you know, the token price and the tokenomics and like improving the tokenomics, volume, increasing the number of buyers and sellers, right? These are like very hard metrics. And then there's a lot in here around like inclusivity and ownership and culture and innovation. I guess it covers like a huge space.
Yeah, umbrella.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I guess as like the next phase, like what we could do, there's a few things. Like one thing that I've liked in the past is that you can add emojis to the cards. So people, if you like certain ones, you can add like a smiley face or something. And then what we can do is look at like what resonates most with people and kind of see, you know, very generally like where people agree. And then the other thing I thought we could do is just map out like what activities we're doing now to that are associated with these. So like, for example, the Creator Collective, right? I mean, the Creator Collective is an initiative that we're doing that relates to education and, you know, culture and supporting artists. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think we should do the emojis and see like what resonates with most with people?
I like that. We got to be able to vote them up.
Okay, so let's do the emojis. We'll do 3 minutes. Let's just see what people what resonates with the most people. So just do like a smiley face, and then you can add smiley faces to the ones you like. All right, let's start the timer for 3 minutes. Is the smiley face working for you guys? Okay. I mean, the hard thing is I kind of agree with all of them. I feel really bad. There's people in the waiting room, but I don't know if they're gonna. I'll let Giovanni in. He seems legit. All right, we'll see. I'll take the risk. I'll let William in as well. It's a little late though. All right, cool. I think that's pretty good. Let's see what we got. All right, so looks like there's some smiley faces everywhere. I guess we can kind of see, like everyone can see on their own. Innovators for NFT got a lot. Ownership, who those to add value. Education and freedom. Connecting developers and artists. Enable creativity of all kinds. Human-centered protocol got a lot. Increasing the price of Rari got a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of Rari holders here. Incentivize desired behavior. Marketplace volume. What else do we have? Community building, culture. So yeah, these are really good things. So like what ideally we move towards is you know, a guidebook, a playbook, a set of rules, philosophy, whatever you want to call it, for the Rarible DAO as a group, for us to really understand and like agree on like, okay, what is our focus areas? Like what are our values? Like what do we want to actually do as a community? Because I mean, in one sense, like it's similar, but it's also different than just Rarible.com. Rarible.com might have their own metrics and their own set of values. And, you know, as a DAO, as an ecosystem, we can think broader, or, you know, whatever we want really. And, you know, it's up to us to really set those values and ingrain a set of values and culture in the ecosystem. So that's hopefully what we're going to be moving towards. So anyone who's interested in helping, like, you know, draft this and think about this, you know, help would be really appreciated. But that's cool. Anyone have thoughts or anything? I'd love to like open the floor up and just like, you know, hear about why people wrote certain things and like, you know, how people feel in general about some of the things that are there and what's important to them.
It feels very cool that you get to see sort of like these buckets, right? Like one is very governance, and tokenomics based, increasing Rari protocol usage and all that stuff. And then there's this other part, which is very, I guess, soft. And I think we're trying to sort of like grasp it, right? Like, and I think on top, you can see right here, it's culture. Like, how can we actually build a thriving culture within the Rarible DAO? And of course, the tokenomics and the culture side informs each other. And so I guess for me, I'm just sharing like an observation. It's really cool to actually see both of those, I guess, themes represented in this whiteboard.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It reminds me of like companies who have like, you know, we're maximizing profits, and then like recently they're like, oh, and like we have this corporate social responsibility and we care for the environment, you know, because it's like on trend. But like we have the chance to like have that at a base layer, right, where it's actually like ingrained and as part of our values, which I think is really different than like, you know, that's why these hierarchical like old school companies just like are you know, not going to be able to compete with what's coming, really. Would love to hear other thoughts, Louis.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's interesting, similar to like what you were mentioning, Mark, is like a lot of these are kind of like just like broad ideas or maybe values, like, you know, inclusivity, inspiration, education, freedom, culture. And some of these are like just very specific, like tasks, you know, actions to take, like connect developers and artists, enable creativity. That's a little broader, but like, you know, there's like, you know, some like subset of tasks that could fall under that category of like, how do we do this? Increasing price of Rari. Okay, how? Well, then there's like, you know, there could be some of these things like deflationary solutions, incentivizing certain behavior that is like, you know, beneficial to the price. And related to what you were saying, Eric, I think what's like unique and cool about like this being a DAO and like, you know, we have like the opportunity to explore all these things is like, you know, no one is like really like, you know, in charge, and we all have this say. And some of us are like, you know, more like developer, like left brain focused on like, you know, for me, like the protocol and the code stuff that makes sense. And that's why I'm like, you know, a lot of my stuff was related to the DAO and the tokenomics because I'm not an artist. But obviously that's like, you know, a key part of all this whole thing, you know, and what it's built around. And so it's helpful to have like that other side of the coin, like, you know, participating in this to like, you know, throw in like the self-sovereign media ownership and like, you know, all these other important like artistic aspects of the NFTs to, because that's important for facilitating the entire ecosystem. So yeah, just kind of thoughts there.
Very cool. Any other thoughts?
I guess it would be really nice to try to digest these things into something cohesive. Because like for us, I don't know, like the part of the culture that like at least I'd love to just promote would be to, I don't know, to earn money and have fun at the same time. I guess that's, I don't know, NFTs are fun.
Agreed. Cheers.
Yeah, actually, I mean that is a good point, right? Like ultimately, like, you know, it's super fun, it's super innovative. Like the things I'm seeing is just like it's so exciting what's happening. You know, even like these drops that we're doing, and then like all these other ways to sell NFTs and like own things. I mean, it is super fun. And you know, I guess that goes back to like distributing ownership to those who are adding value. I think, I mean, that's one reason that, like, you know, I mean, I guess a lot of crypto projects are taking that route where it's like, you know, ownership economy, and you distribute tokens to you know, users of the platform. Like Unity did that, and many other projects are going that route. But I guess it's super important for something like this, especially if you're trying to build culture and all these things, right? You want to make them owners.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if I could add just a little bit too, like, I mean, you know, I'm also part of like different discords from run by different platforms, and I noticed a strong effort on actually building culture, building their own editorials, because that actually attracts the creator economy. um, and so it's really cool that we're all thinking about culture, and you know, and at the same time too, having developers like on board in this DAO too, to sort of like have that bridge between creator and developer. I think in Web 2.0 we didn't have that access. You know, as an artist myself, you know, I didn't have access to actually people who can write code, who know Solidity. And but now I think we have this opportunity, we have this space to actually have that bridge, which I think is very exciting.
Absolutely. And to add to that as well, this is Pips. I'm James. Um, I focus mostly the majority of my attention on creator artist relations, because in my personal opinion, that's the most important part to any platform, any business, any product, any service. We all know that customer satisfaction is the all in all. So without an artist or without an creator or a customer, there is no platform. And so we have to focus our attentions on building those relationships with the artists and the creators, and letting them know that we value them as artists and creators, and being more interactive with them on a day-to-day basis. That's going to do nothing but good for the Rarible platform. So
Yeah, and I totally agree with what you're saying too. I mean, that's kind of why like Mark and I are super stoked to be doing all these projects with Creator Collective. I mean, I got so much one-on-one with all the artists, and it's so fun. It's so cool just to get their opinions, their stoke. I mean, they really want this. Like, they're super stoked by everything that kind of like
absolutely.
activities like that. So yeah.
Great stuff. Max, nice to see you here. I had a chat with Max this week. He's like from the outside world, doesn't know about DAOs, you know, all this stuff. So welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, good to be here. I love the exercise on the Miro. It was fun.
Great. All right. Well, I guess we can end a bit early. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to keep this Miro board. If anybody wants to get involved with any of this, you know, help draft some, you know, articles to kind of synthesize this, you know, I'm definitely gonna be involved with that. But if anybody else wants to help out, let me know. But you know, thanks everyone. I think it was a really great exercise to hear what people's thoughts are as we kind of like evolve as a DAO and as a community. So yeah. Thanks, everyone.
To add one more thing, Eric, before you end, I just want to add to what I was saying about customer and artist and creator relations. Most of the people who showed up today are creators and artists. If they haven't been coming to the calls in the past, then I'm pretty sure 100% of them are here in support of Nick. And because he sent out the link today as the supporters and the creators and the artists to come and support the call today, and just to let their presence be known. And so that just goes to show the power of creator and artist relations. So I just wanted to make that known, that most of the people on the call is here in support of Nick.
Thanks, Pip. Really appreciate that. And you know, someone Jim mentioned in the chat, your voice is dope, James, would make killer spoken word NFTs. You know, I mean, we should think about that. Like, what if you just made some NFTs where you just talk about what you just said about what's important for the Rarible platform, and we just like mint these values, right? Like, I mean, that's pretty dope.
Great idea. That's a great idea. And I thank you, bro.
Great idea. Very cool. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know, you know, I guess he's from another part of the States or the world than I am, but yeah, cool. Nice to have you all here, and have a good Thursday afternoon or night or whatever you are in the world.
Absolutely. Peace and love, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.